Good morning, everybody. Happy everything, everyone. So I'm sorry, I literally just got a text message, so I need to, respond to that. This is real estate. See, no, you are good to show. Sorry, this is real life, guys. ELB at front door. And Eric had to take the dog out. Okay. Hey, Eric. I literally just got a text message. I just responded to it, but we just keep an eyeball on this phone. Yeah. The realtor for the 9 a.m. showing. I literally haven't said hello yet. I had to respond to a text. So hello, everyone. So yeah, that was like seriously real life. We have a showing at one of our listings at 9 a.m. And so the realtor just sent a text message asking if I was going to be there for that. And I'm like, no, you're good to show that. So.
Hi, Amy. I'm reporting from the other side of the counter where I've just come inside where Penny has pooped. So we're about to do the show, and like the dogs look at me like, this dumb dog. Okay,
she's not dumb. She's very sweet.
Dumb. She's emotionally dumb.
She's particular.
And now she wants to go out the back.
She likes to go out the back after she goes to the front. Seriously,
she won't poop in the backyard. We've got this big backyard.
She won't do it.
For this backyard, and I have to cut the grass every 5 days because it's growing so fast. And she won't poop. That's all I have to say about that.
All right. Well, thank you for taking her on. Yeah, like.
Can I do one more thing though?
Sure. Weather alert.
We've done it.
We've done what?
It's gonna be not 90 today.
Woo!
So it's beautiful outside. Good Lord, we should move here. Anyway,
you should move here.
I gotta let the dog out.
Okay, let the dog out the back. Yeah, we have particular dogs. So guys, we have not even really started the show yet. we are all out of sync, I guess. Anyway, so good morning. It has been a crazy one. I found out. Well, I already knew that I was getting older, but yesterday, Eric and I had kind of an unexpected impromptu, like sort of a day off. Like it wasn't really a day off. We didn't go anywhere. Eric was still working. He actually took his computer. I'm so proud of him. He took his computer and equipment upstairs into the media room. And in the media room, there's like this little, there's like a little we call it the pub, but it's like just a little wet bar area and a little place for a table. So he took his stuff up there so that he could watch football with his boys and, they were not here, but, to watch football for the day. And I love that because he deserves that. And because he deserves that, I too deserved to be, get work done, but get work done in a place where it felt comfortable. So I got work done in bed. So I pretty much stayed in bed the majority of the day. Shut up.
Okay, that was funny.
Stop. Oh my God. I deal with this all the time. Okay, no. So I got work done. So I made a deal with myself. So as we get to later in the show, I'll tell you what I was watching. And I did. I kind of binged it all day yesterday. But in between, I made a rule. In between each episode, I'd get up, I'd go over to the computer, I'd double check email, I'd respond to text messages. If it was a 911 emergency, there were none, but there was a couple that were like urgent. And I had to finish up. I have some client. Oh, that's who we didn't put on wishes. I'll tell them later. We have another wishes that we forgot to put their names on there, but I'll tell you about them. Anyway, but we got a land contract signed. So yes, I don't just do homes. We do land as well. But anyway, so I was trying to put, finishing touches on the back and forth with that. Anyway, so every time my episode ended, I'd go get a little bit of work done, and then I'd go back in and I'd turn that heating pad back on because yes, I sleep and lay down with a heating pad. Anyway, my point is that I woke up this morning so sore from doing nothing yesterday, like so sore. In fact, this morning, somebody texted me at way too early this morning. It wasn't one of you lovely people. It was basically a contractor that I have working on a client's home. And they texted me quite early. But as you do when you're a mom, as you do just all the time, you kind of like, oh, is there an emergency? So I rolled over. But the way I rolled over and reached for my phone literally has hurt this entire side, my whole neck, down my back. I have a horrible headache from it. So I may have to switch to the cold caffeine because I do have my warm caffeine. Does this look familiar? I believe Julia, you sent this to me a while back. But I have such a bad headache. I have such a bad neck ache. It's hard for me to turn a little bit. It's all down the back side. Anyway, and that's because I chose to find the priority. And by the way, there was things I could have done. Like I really could have cleaned this house. Like I really needed to clean yesterday. But I also needed to have a day where I could just go, you know what? I'm just going to lay here and just be lazy. So I was a little bit lazy. I got work done, but I was still kind of lazy. Anyway, but being lazy now has cost me a day's worth of activity because I'm so daggone sore from doing nothing. Like, what's happening? Our bodies are just falling apart. Anyway, so good morning. For all of you that have been popping in, let me say quick hellos. Again, I always try to say hello to you as we're scrolling. But I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I think I got Melody. You were the last one. I got Rob. Always good to see you. Jeff. From Michigan. What's the weather like in Michigan, Jeff? I bet are you already getting chilly and cold? Not here. Diz Deb. Yes, Elizabeth Deering. Just so you know, Poppy or Daddy is wearing this for the Valdosta reason because we are featuring you today. Not featuring you, but we're supporting you today. Put it that way. Marsha Brown, good morning. And Laura. Good morning. And Mark, good morning. Oh my gosh, John Hickman. Oh wow, John, first time watching live. Well, hello, John. Thanks for joining us. It is live, like for real. Let's see, my goodness, so many. So just thank you guys so much for watching and joining in. We always are. Every time we finish these, we're like, I just can't believe people watch. Like, that's crazy. But anyway, so if you are new to us and you haven't really watched us before, I always think about this. I never really explain what it is that we're doing. So for those of you that just randomly, happen upon us. So obviously I'm in real estate. My husband and I are both in real estate. And here in Florida, specifically the Central Florida area, location, Orlando, our little nugget is what we term Disney's backyard. That is our term, so nobody else can take it. Disney's backyard is basically the Horizon West area. But obviously we work in so many different areas around here, but this is kind of like our little nugget. This is our little close to home spot. But we've done the home tours for years and years. Before most of the people were doing these home tours, we were doing them. And now everyone's like, oh, what a great way to use social media to to your advantage and to showcase these beautiful properties. Totally agree. So we've been doing that for a while. So the home tours kind of came into what we call our Sunday drives. Those happened very authentically because I used to do those privately for clients when they were moving from out of state or out of the country, which is a large majority of our clients. To kind of help get them acclimated, because not everyone has the luxury of being here to tour homes in person or to stay here for any extended amount of time where they can really get themselves oriented with where they are. So that's kind of how the Sunday drives started. And when we started to do the Sunday drives and kind of, what do you call them? Like just upload those. Eric was in the car with me. Before, it was like him holding the camera and me talking. We're like, well, it's far more entertaining when Eric was with me. I know. So Eric and I do those Sunday drives together. And then, I actually started coffee time because I just kind of wanted to have coffee with you and my clients and just kind of chat very informally. And then obviously it's become something a bit more. Eric loves putting his television background to work and his skill set of being able to be
creative. Love it?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't love it. I guess he doesn't love it. But he has the ability to do that and to put these coffee times together. So to that and for that, my friends, cheers to you. I hope you're having a lovely coffee this morning. I will tell you, yesterday I was doing the pumpkin spice all day and it was kind of making me feel good being lazy in the bed with my heating pad. Paying for it today, but that's okay. Anyway, so we are going to get going. So let's talk about what's brewing, shall we? Okay, so here are our what's brewing topics for today. Dirt versus spec, playing percentages, and downtown. So lots to talk about. I mean, I always say I'm going to try to end early. I never end up ending early because honestly, there's just so much to talk about. But this first topic I think is really important, and it is always, always, always about expectations. And I know that with these Monday coffee times, with the Sunday drives, we try so hard to provide you with the correct expectation for when you are buying or building your new home. And the conversation is constantly changing because new construction is constantly changing. And when we first started real estate, the whole thing with new construction was that somebody would go and they would find a community and a floor plan and they would pick a home site that's available and they would build that floor plan and they would, they would build that floor plan and they would go through the entire process, go to the design center, pick and choose everything. And that's just not the way all new construction works anymore right here at this time. It could change in a year. Maybe everything is back to dirt. But the key is to understand the difference. So if you are lucky enough, and it does still exist, I'm not saying that you can't still find that. It's just, it's not as easy as you think. Every new construction community is not operating the same way with the same process and procedure or with the same timeline. So it's important to note that. So, which is why you need a realtor to help you. So so let's just say you get the actual traditional build from dirt process. It means, generally speaking, that you find the community that feels like home. You find a floor plan that feels like it can be your home, right? Then we contract on that. We find the lot, we pick the home, you pick the exterior elevation, and then you're going to go through with the design with the builder, and we're going to choose the structural options, the things that are going to be kind of embedded into the skeleton of the home. So you're going to to choose what kind of exterior elevation it is. Does it have the columns? Does it have the front porch? Is it flat? Does it have a different kind of a pitched roof, or does it have peaks and gables? The exterior elevations. Sometimes you're going to check or pick the structural option as to whether or not that bedroom is going to be a bedroom, or are you going to change it into the flex space? The things that the builder already provides you, it doesn't mean you get to pick and choose. It just means you get to pick and choose from what the builder tells you can pick and choose. You do that, and then after you've contracted on those structural options, the elevation, the floor plan, and the home site, then you go to the design center, typically about 30 days later. And at the design center, if it is a la carte, again, so important, if it is an a la carte process, that's when you get to go and you pick every little element of your home bit by bit, piece by piece, and you get to pick and choose it. And it's not custom, even at that stage, guys, it's not a custom home. It is still a production builder, right? So
and you also get to cry at the design center.
You do get to you you do get to cry at the design center sometimes. People have done that for sure.
Because expensive.
For lots of reasons, yes. But so you go to the design center, you pick and choose, and then the home goes into permitting, and then again this can be anywhere from a 9-month process to a 12-month process to longer. That is if you get to build from dirt. But guys, if you don't get the chance to build from dirt and you are building, I'm going to put the other picture up wherever it was. If you are doing the spec home, so the spec home means that the builder has chosen that for you. So there are lots of examples of this. There are homes that are already under construction. That home is already going on that home site. It already has the structural options that it's going to have. No, you cannot change them. I'm so sorry, but it's been permitted with the county that way. You do not get to change the interior design choices that have already been chosen for the home. I say that with a caveat that sometimes if you're choosing a home and early enough in the process and they're not even near the fit and finish on the inside stage, every once in a while the builder will be nice and say, well, you can't change this and this and this, but you can change this. The only thing you're able to change at this point is this. And if it's a package, sometimes they'll let you change the package if you are, and I mean smack dab early in the process where it's still in permitting. But as soon as those homes break ground, there's really no opportunity for you to change anything. And you have to remember that these spec homes or these quick move-in homes or these inventory homes all essentially mean the same thing. These homes are done to the builder's specifications, not yours. Unfortunately, not yours. So you can't come in and want to change things and do things differently to that home other than the way the builder has chosen to build it, where the builder and the design team has picked and chosen those design options, or whether or not it has a pre-plumb for a sink. Okay, it's too late to change that. That's part of the structural options of the home. That's going to affect the plumbing blueprint. So it's way too late to add something like that. There's just a lot of things, and it's important for you to understand, because we do so much with new construction out here and around here because it's just thriving around us. It is so important to just understand and to set that expectation of what you are in control of and what you are not. And I know that sounds bad, and I don't want it to sound bad. I'm always an advocate for my clients. But it is about understanding where you have leverage, I guess, or you have a voice or an opinion, and where you don't. And yes, I get it. You're spending $500,000 or more for a home. You should be able to pick and choose. I agree. But that's not the way it works. So if you want that home, you just kind of have to understand different builders' policies, processes, and procedures. And I think that's important, and so important to have a realtor that understands that too, because I have heard from builders that the realtors that don't understand it are setting the wrong expectation for their client, and that makes the process much, 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 much worse. Eric is standing.
So we have a real breaking news situation where I have to hand you your phone.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna talk to people about what's happening next week. I'll update you about. So this is like welcome to the real world. The inspection is happening at Summer Seasons listings. The car is blocking the attic access, and she wants to know if anyone has a key to that car, so they can move the car so they can get into the attic. So I thought maybe
Four Seasons.
Neighbor, yeah.
You said Summer Seasons.
Well, that's what we call that house.
So
Go here, and then I'll go here, and then I'll talk to everyone while you do that.
Okay.
So next week.
Fran is.
Yeah. I know. So anyway.
What happened?
I don't know. Now my phone died.
My phone died. Is this? Can I charge this? No. That's
you know what? That's a problem anyway. I need you to plug that back in anyway. It's all falling apart.
It's all falling apart. Here.
Let's go back to Amy. Hang on.
Just,
go back to Amy.
Just go put that on my
Yes, I'll plug it in and I'll figure it out.
Everyone. Oh wait, hold on. Let me go here.
Oh, wrong one.
All right.
No,
so
I got it.
Okay, Eric's got it. Oh my gosh, it's such a mess.
It's a disaster.
It's a disaster. Okay, so hang on, pausing. So
charge your phone?
It was charged all night. I don't know what happened.
It's here.
Okay, I swear it did not open up a minute ago. So here. Okay. All right, hold on.
Come back to me.
All right, come back to you. How do I get to you?
I got it.
I get you, Eric. Okay.
Okay. So enough about me. What do you think of me? Hey, so next week I'm gonna be. So this is how life works. We can be in the middle of 85 things, and
at the house for the inspection.
something happens, and it's not. This is not an emergency, but obviously if the inspector
Is there any
in the roof,
chance there's
in the attic, then we have a problem. So Next week, Amy is traveling, so
Where
she will
they
be
can
joining
move
us
the
as a
car
guest. I will
into
be
the
here.
driveway,
I'm going to
question
try
mark.
something unbelievably.
Okay, I sent her a message.
Not difficult, but like I'm going to try something cool. We're going to do polls. So like you'll be able to text in on your phone, and the polls will come up on the thing. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. So did you get it taken care of?
I think I did. Allie's like, we can hear you, Mama. Yeah, I know. I was doing my voice
I had
texting.
you muted,
this
but
way.
you just whatever.
Yeah, that's it. I'm all done. That's all I had to do. So, this is life, guys. This is real life. I'm sorry. You might think this is some,
It's a disaster.
this all put together, frivolous thing. But the reality is we really work. And throwing these things in is a challenge. I sent her a message. Keep in mind, she's in India at the moment. No, she's, I don't know where she is or what time of day it is where she is. So
Okay, what about the neighbor?
Joan.
Okay, I'll find her.
Joan's in there. Yeah. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, back to work. Okay. So dirt versus spec. Again, the main point of that is to set the correct expectation for what you are getting. And please understand, even if you're building from dirt and you do get to pick all of those things, it is still a production builder. It is not custom. And I say that again only to set the right expectation. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just telling you they won't let you. Okay? I think it's important to know because it really does. The whole process of building is stressful enough than for you to mistakenly go into it with the thought of, oh, well, I don't like that. Can they knock that down and redo it for me? No. Now, that doesn't mean the builder's not going to try to assist and help make you happy. But, if you didn't custom build the home and you don't like, the hardware that's on it, well, then you'll have to change it later or whatever. So bad example. But anyway, hopefully you get my point. Anyway, let's move on to the next part of what's brewing, which is playing percentages. So we've talked about this before, but again, I know it is...
They got it. We're good. Look how angry you are. This is actual anger. Look, Amy's actually angry. I just wanted to share with you that the crisis has been averted. So we're
How'd
good.
they get the car out?
She said we got it. Rita says we got it. So
Okay, cool.
goodbye.
All right. Okay. Back to the show. All right. Anyway, so playing the percentages. So playing the percentages means we were talking about this earlier because when I had some lovely clients in town, you're on wishes here in a minute, we were just talking about how earnest money deposits and deposits, what percentage you need to be prepared to pay if you were coming in town to look for homes. And again, this number is likely going to change depending on where you live throughout the country. But if you are looking here in this little area, in my little nugget here in Disney's backyard, the Central Florida, Orlando, and surrounding perimeter, surrounding communities, typically, if you are purchasing, and by the way, I say this because there are so many people, guys, there are so many people that want to buy a home, but they have not prepped one bloomin' thing to get themselves in a position to buy. So this is informative. This is to help you help yourself to get yourself in a position to know what it is that you need to do. So one of them is having the money with which for at least having, that was horrible grammar. I am so sorry. The first is to have the money that you need for the initial deposit when you contract on the home. So if it is a new construction, or I'm sorry, if it is a resale home, a home that's 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, resale home, not being sold by the builder, you should expect to be able to provide either 1 to 2% of the price of that home, that you have those funds available to pay within 3 days of writing that contract. So if we submit an offer, that offer is accepted, then that earnest money deposit, which we have stated in the offer, and the offer will say our purchase price is going to be $500,000. The earnest money deposit is going to be $5,000. That will be paid within 3 days of them signing that contract and us being under agreement, having a ratified contract. So you need to have those funds ready and accessible. You also need to know that if you are doing new construction tends to be either 5% or 10%. I don't know why Eric has 10 to 20%, but that's okay.
Because he's not smart.
Because he's not smart. No, well, actually, no. You are smart because if I got you, baby. Okay, so a builder is usually going to ask for 5% of that purchase price Some builders are asking for 10%. I personally think 10% is a heck of a lot of money for you to have right there on hand for homes that in this area are that pricey, but that's what they're doing. But if you are a cash buyer, they are going to require 20%. Boom, gotcha. So he knew that.
Yes, sure, I was right.
He was doing that. But that is the truth. So resale, expect 1% to 2%. Far less than a builder is going to require. That will be due within 3 days of you signing the contract or them signing the contract. New construction, plan on 5%. Don't be freaked out if it's 10%. And if it's cash, you need to plan on 20%. Okay. Also, there are times if you are building a home that's going to take several more months, there are situations where builders might play nice and they might say, okay, well, if you can do this amount now, then in 2 weeks, you need to pay the rest. Now, that's not a heck of a lot of time. It's not like you went and got a new job and got a new paycheck or won the lottery in that amount of time, unless you did. But that is there for people who might need to move money around, right? For the people who are like, look, in my account right now, I've got 25 grand, but I need to find another 25 grand, and that I just got to move some money around. And in those cases, they sometimes will play nice and say, okay, well then do this amount now, but then within another 2 weeks or a week or whatever, 30 days, you have to have the other amount.
May I follow up?
You may follow up. Yes, please.
So here's the thing: we know that's a lot of money. So if you're talking about a $500,000 house, which new construction in this area right now, $500,000, good luck.
Right.
I mean, but and we say that's $500,000.
We have not lost sight of that.
Our mind.
Correct.
So we're not casually being like, well, you got to. So if you need 5% for a $500,000 house, you need $25,000. We've been married for 30 years. The times that we had $25,000 in the bank that we could use as a down payment, those are not. There have not been many times when that was the case. So we totally get that. But I think the point that we try to share with people a lot, especially first-time home buyers and people that are like getting the money together is actually what 80% of the challenge of becoming a homeowner. So that 1% to 2%, way better. So
way better.
Resale. And by the way, in the market we're in right now, you can get new construction. A lot of times, people that have bought the home. And then they can't afford the payment, and so they put it on the market right away. Now, a lot of times they try to jack up the price and, hey, I'm going to make $100,000. That never works, by the way. Don't do that. But if you can put together 1% or 2%, you're going to have a better chance of resale. That's all I'd say about that.
Yeah. And the difference, too, between those and the timelines is that in most cases, if you are purchasing a resale home, you need to plan on closing on that home in 30, maybe 45 days. You're talking, we contract, we're already sprinting to the finish line. We contract and we're running. You've got about 30 days to get you to closing. If sorry, everything's beeping around us. If it is new construction, you could be talking a home that's going to be ready in 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months. I mean, you just don't know. It's going to be all across the spectrum. What we got?
There's a microphone issue.
Issue.
So it's that the soundboard was not. So we've been hearing you off of the screen. So we haven't been able to hear me. So
is that better? Well, thank you for letting us know.
Yeah. There, now we're good.
Good. All right. Well, sorry about that, everybody. Seriously, this is our life. So
So now that's better. I bet you can hear me.
I bet that's better. So this is the honest to goodness truth.
And also, the camera battery's probably going to die pretty soon. So it's gonna be a whole thing. It's gonna be a whole thing.
Well, if we die, we love you. I mean, if it dies, we love you.
Well, in any case,
that too. But okay. So real quick, then we'll try to to zoom through. This is real life, folks. Okay, so let's see. All right, so where was I? So let's go to our third topic, which is downtown. This is important. We are so excited about this one. So I'm going to let this play. If you did not watch yesterday's Sunday Drive, please watch it. We actually the video from that, where we are driving down Plant Street in the historic downtown Winter Garden Place, or as I like to call it, the Hallmark movie setting. It is a wonderful, wonderful place connected to West Orange Trail. You have all sorts of bistros and eateries and coffee shops and ice cream shops and candy shops and boutiques and mom and pop places and some really fancy restaurants. You have farmers market on Saturdays, which is what this was. Excuse me. We were actually, Eric and I were heading to host an open house at one of our listings 2 blocks from this fun, guys. Golf cart district, which you're going to see here in a minute. You're going to see some golf carts around. And so this particular area is, I mean, it is community. It is a great place to come and meet and hang out. You can walk the dog, you can stroll the baby, you can walk yourself, you can jog, you can bike, you can do whatever you want. And you can see, excuse me, in this particular part, I think I'll put my glasses on, you can start to see now where all the people are, right? So now we are here to the farmer's market. You can start to see all of the little canopies of all the tents. It's not just food. It's not just produce. It's not just vegetables. There are crafters out there. There are clothing out there. There's garments out there. There's all sorts of stuff out there. There's like fresh local honey out there. There is, gosh, there's just so much. You just have to go. So this happens every Saturday. And this, again, happens to be when we were doing our open house. So we drove through, we put a sign out at the open house. So you can see here, look down the street. You see how they block that off? And then you've got all of these wonderful vendors, part of our community out there selling all of their treats. And this just really is a great thriving place. You've got, here's the old theater right there. So if you want to see a Broadway show, or their version of a Broadway show, there's some great theater there. Axum Coffee is lovely. Moon Cricket Grill's out there, one of our favorite little spots to eat. Lots to do, lots to see. And this particular Sunday drive that we did took you through there and then on our way to the open house. There you go. Thank you. So anyway, and so we did do the open house. So let's talk about that house for a minute because this is really important. So if this looks like it is your lifestyle, if you are looking for a smaller 1-story floor plan, no stairs, but you still want a front load garage, you still want to have a backyard of sorts, whether it's for a pool or whether it's to garden or whether you just want to just have the green space for the dogs and the kids to run. Our listing is absolutely beautiful. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, almost 1,600 square feet, I believe. It has a formal living room and dining room up front. This home has been redone top to bottom, inside out, from the roof down to the baseboards, down to the flooring. Like everything has been redone in this home. The home was built in 2004. The homeowner purchased it 2 years ago. And when he purchased it, it had already had a new roof and the new AC unit had already been installed right before he purchased it, or a year or two before. And then once he took over, he did everything. Repainted the exterior of the home. It's a beautiful color now. If you look at public records, not so great. Re-landscaped the yard. Even so much as knocked down the popcorn ceiling and put up the knockdown ceiling, which is what we do here with newer homes. He added electrical LED lights, like the recessed lights, but the flat LEDs, added those, removed lighting fixtures, added new lighting fixtures, gutted the kitchen, new cabinets, new counters, new LVP flooring throughout the home, so there's no carpet. They added a brand new slider in the back and the windows. They added an exterior lanai space that's screened in. That video tour, I believe, Eric actually just popped up here a little while ago. So if you are interested in that, or if you have anyone that's interested in that, again, guys, 2 blocks. So for instance, when we did the open house, he took his little Chihuahua Chica and got in the little golf cart and it died.
Well, you're still on.
I'm still on, so I'll keep talking. I was like, it went totally black. But he went.
We're over there at the moment while I fix the
Hello.
camera.
So he took the dog, and by the way, so stinking cute, this little Chihuahua. Took the little dog and a little pillow, all hooked up on the golf cart, and he took Chica. They just drove around for a couple of hours. They went and got some lunch. They hung out at the farmer's market, just kind of driving around and enjoying that ambiance for a few hours and then came back. So that is a great type of a lifestyle, whether you are single, whether you are a young couple starting out, whether you are downsizing, whether you are empty nesters. Thank you. That was good, babe. That was well done.
It's bad that it happened, but that was a pretty good quick fix.
Yeah. So it is a great home. So if you are interested, if you know anyone that is interested, if you are living somewhere right now where it's freezing cold or it's getting ready to be freezing cold and you would love to have a home here in Florida that is your private vacation home, it's not short-term rental, no Airbnbs, guys. But if you want a home that can be your getaway, or if you just want to move here full time and make this your everyday lifestyle and live like you're on vacation. That home is $535,000. Please watch that video because it will take you through everything. It is absolutely beautiful. I think it's a great, great, great find. It would be, in my opinion, the most peace of mind of a new home in that area, because it's not new, but everything has been redone in it. So great, great, great home. So, all right. So with that, are we? I do. I think I have a question or two too. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click this. Y'all have to bear with me. Oh. Honey,
Bear with me. Did you lose the cursor again?
No, I didn't lose the cursor. I lost the chat thing. So
okay, I'll come over and
he's going to come fix it. But
I'll be right there. But today, the theme for today is
hot mess.
Hot mess. I don't know if it's hot. It's just a mess. All right, I'm coming around.
All right, he's coming around to fix it. Okay.
Good Lord.
So anyway, I saw Lisa, by the way, in the comments earlier. I saw you talking about the downtown Winter Garden area. So it is lovely. So you can absolutely be a witness to the fact that is a great place to live. It is a great place to go and enjoy. And by the way, that's on Saturdays. I mean, it's a lovely, lovely place. But if you kind of want it to be more serene without a ton of people, you know, you can go any day, any time. You know, you can, thank you. You can get your own, you can have your own treat and take yourself to the French cafe and go get some coffee and a pastry, or head over to Axum Coffee, or you can go to Kelly's and get some ice cream. There's so many different things that you can do just kind of on your own. So, all right. So, Sydney. Hi, Sydney and Valencio. All right. So, my sister-in-law is waiting 1 year for a pool permit. Is that normal? They are in Miami. Okay. A year for the permit for a pool is not normal here, but I cannot attest to Miami. Maybe it is. I don't know why it would take that long. That's kind of cuckoo crazy. But I do tell people that for housing permits and even for our pool, you do need to plan on like 2 to 3 months for things to go, maybe not so much for the pool, but for housing permits, it's usually about 3 months in the county office waiting for that permit to be approved. That does seem like a very long time for me, but since I don't really work in Miami, I mean, I can, but They should call
the county inspector just to confirm that permit has been filed and get information from someone other than the contractor.
Yeah.
Only because you put a big deposit down and then to say you have to wait a year, if they've exchanged money and whatever,
true.
That just,
good point.
It's probably fine, but
yeah, that really is a long time to wait. That one makes me a little bit nervous. So I agree with Eric. Reach out and kind of find out what's going on there. Marcia says, what do you know about pool fill-ins? My brother has a pool he wants to be done with. Totally understand. An old pool. We've been having a hard time finding someone to fill the pool in the Palm Bay area. This is a really good question. And honestly, I don't know that I have an answer. I know that when I grew up, we had a pool in our side yard. We lived on a corner and we had a pool in our side yard. We had the fence all around it and we loved it. We played it in all the time. It was just a rectangular pool, diving board back, you could 7 or 8 feet deep at the time, but it was also the vinyl liners on the inside. Remember those days? So I'm dating myself, aren't I? The vinyl on the inside. Well, I remember as we all got older and the pool was never a thing and we were all kind of moving out and moving on, I remember that pool starting to cave in. Like the liner, there started to be a big bubble in the liner. So it's the coffee pot going off again. The pool started to kind of cave in a little bit. And so at that point, we really had no choice. I don't really remember how my parents had that taken care of. And of course, that was back in Virginia. But I mean, I guess the first question is first stop, I think, would probably be to a pool company and ask them, how does that work? And maybe they can help give some guidance. But
they probably have a subcontractor that they could at least recommend.
Yeah, because I mean, they're going to know more about the mechanical aspect of it, and what, like we did. Ours just got filled in. I don't remember how. I don't remember. If they just literally just filled it with dirt and the rest of the plumbing is all just still there underground. I don't know. But obviously you would want to do things properly just to make sure that there's no future issues or problems.
Well, and one of the future issues is in Florida, if you leave a pool unattended, what does it become, Amy?
Gator water.
Gator water.
But yeah, so in fact, did I ever tell you the story about that? my God, I don't think I told you. I will tell you guys this story for real. So in our pool in the side yard, so again, it started to not get used. It did not get maintained. And so it became a big, dark, ooey gooey mess in the side of the yard, which is one of the reasons that, we needed to fill it in. Well, we had a furnace. This is a true story. I feel like I've told this before. So we had in our home, very small little 1-story home, loved that home. One side was a 1-car garage. Well, when I was, probably in I say middle school, but I mean junior high school from the age I am. We had that room filled in. The garage turned into a family room, added a fireplace. So we had the extra space in our home. Well, that side had a door that took it to the outside, to the exterior of the home, into the side yard. So essentially into the pool area. Well, that door would never truly shut and lock properly, ever. There was just something wrong with it, never got fixed. You could shut it, you could lock it, but all you still had to do was push it. So anyway, the older you get, the smarter you get, the more you get worried about things. You're like, oh, wow, somebody could just push that door open one day, right? No security alarms like we have nowadays. Didn't have a dog, so we didn't have any way of doing that. Anyway, so we had a furnace. Now, the furnace was inside what used to be the garage, right? And so when the oil truck would come around and make the deliveries to put that in, they had to kind of come in. Well, I always got so nervous that, letting people in, and are they going to realize that this door doesn't shut? So I used to tell people, I'm not kidding, guys, I was really bad. I used to tell them that we had a pet alligator in the water because I wanted to scare them so they would never try to come back after night or after dark and try to break into our house. Did I ever tell you that story?
Funny.
I really did. Yeah, just because I was scared. I was kind of scared because at that point it was like, me and my dad living there or my mom and nobody else was there. Anyway, that was just a funny little story.
In Virginia, it's not gator water, it's snake water.
It's snake water for sure.
Ugh,
yeah,
don't
true.
want that.
True. Anyway, all right. So again, if you have questions, let us know. Allie said earlier to remind everybody to like the stream. Oh my gosh, we'd be begging you at this point after today's debacle.
Please like our low rent, terrible stream.
Nay, this is the real stuff because we're.
Did you say nay?
I said. No, I didn't say nay. No, I did not. All right, so let's talk about the market, shall we? Here we go. Okay, so we like this one so much because this really does give you from week to week the updates of what it looks like to live here, to be here, to try to sell here, or to try to buy here. And as a reminder, you look at the very bottom, heartandhomeorlando.com/market. That's something, I'll click that button here in a minute. I haven't forgotten, Eric. That's something you can download anytime if you want to see what's going on. We put a lot of time, effort, and work into those types of things. Thanks to Forrest out there being our data analyst, getting some of that stuff done for us so that we can keep you constantly updated on this. So luxury homes over $750,000. The average sales price is, just a little over $1,076,000. Meaning the average price per square foot in that home range is about $313. Average days to contract is 21. The single family under 750 is more along the 558 mark, a little over 262 a square foot, about 33 days on the market. Townhomes, the average price is now 457.5. Are you paying attention to these numbers? Average price per square foot around 253. Average days on the market is 18. Now, what we want to talk about over here to the right where it says the Hawksmoor 7. So we do this because where we live, we pay great attention to what's going on around us. It's important. It's our job. It is exactly why people call us to do what we do, especially right here in this area, because we're paying attention. So in that community, I had 2 listings. Both of my listings were priced correctly, and both of them are gone. They're both under contract. There are 7 other homes in the exact same neighborhood that are marked, and I'm not going to say anything about anything other than they are still on the market. They are priced, in my opinion, too high, and they're not moving. Now we are hitting the slower time foot traffic wise. We say that every day or every week because we are hitting fall, we are hitting holiday time. The kids are back to school. So this is not really a time where we have a lot of active foot traffic, and I would say a lot of people actually actively looking to try to find their home foot traffic. But these homes are just priced too high. I don't know what people are doing, and maybe that's what you want. Maybe you're like, hey, I don't really have to sell it. Let's price it high and see what happens. Okay, fine. If that's your strategy, go for it. If that's your ultimate goal, you just want to see if you can get something, great. But anybody that's doing their due diligence, anyone, whether it's the buyer's agent, whether it's the buyer themselves, I mean, there's a lot of information that's accessible and available to people to know that that's just overpriced. So we watch those homes all the time. Eric pays attention to them every morning. He's like, they're still there. So all we have to say is if you price it right, you have a much better chance of having your home move and go under contract, especially in a time where things are going slower. So why do you want to overprice your home in a slow market and then just have your home sit there and sit there and sit there and get stale and then rumors happen about it? So, and that's not to say, however, not to say that every home that is still on the market for an extended time is overpriced, because I've had my own listings. In fact, one of them, the one that we had the little crazy intro today where they were having the inspection, I had a home that was on the market, was it 60 some days, in a 55 plus community, but it finally went under contract, and it was always priced well. That's just a little bit of a different scenario because it's a different demographic looking for homes, and it's a little bit harder to get those to sell resale wise. Anyway, so point is, please make sure. And you know what? I used this conversation or this point yesterday when I was talking to some clients on the phone. So I have some sweet clients, I think it was yesterday. No, it wasn't. It was the day before. About, you know, when you live out of state, I don't think I've ever had a client say, oh yes, our home is a horrible home. It's in horrible shape. We're never going to sell it. It's going to take forever. Like literally no one ever says that. Everyone's like, we have a beautiful home. It's in the great area. It's going to sell really fast. I believe you. I absolutely 100% believe you. But you can't just assume that that's true. So one thing I want everyone to do, and I told them, I said, find your realtor there in your area. Now, by the way, I can refer you to a realtor, but unless I know them personally, I'm not concerned about me getting a referral fee more so than I'm worried about you having the right realtor to help you, if that makes sense. So that's one of those things where you can find the realtor in your area that you see all the time that you know is actually selling things, not just someone you see on social media. And I understand being on social media, but you have to have the stats and the data to back that up. But find that agent and say, don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to know. Okay, that is important because you don't want someone coming in for these listing appointments. They want to say, oh my gosh, the home is beautiful. I can get this sold in a week. You know why? Because they want the listing. What you need to tell them is, don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to know. And that is really important because, again, it's about that expectation of you being able to go, you know what? I do have a beautiful home. I do have a realtor that's like top notch in this area and totally understands the market. Might even have a client list of buyers potentially that might already be interested in the home, or could be, would be, should be interested in the home. And let that person guide you as to, you know what, yes, but the time of year that you're looking to sell is not really the hot time here. So for you and your situation and where you live and in that market, maybe the time to list it is in March. Maybe it's not time to list it in November. And if that has to change our timeline, then maybe it changes the timeline. But I just think that's important because as a realtor, we see it all the time. Realtors will tell you anything to get the listing. And I mean, again, I'm not throwing realtors under the bus. I'm just saying that's the truth. And you want to have the real numbers. So sometimes I lose the listing because I come in and I'm telling them what they need to know. I'm not telling them what they want to hear. I'm telling them this home is beautiful. It is going to sell quickly, but I'm not going to guarantee it. But here's the data that proves that this is our pricing point, our price point, not necessarily up here. And then, you know, we don't get the listing. Many times we do get the listings because people appreciate that. So it really is about kind of you and your train of thought, but take that piece of advice wherever you are. Tell your realtor exactly what I told you. Don't tell me what I need to hear, or don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to know. And with that, we'll move on. Yes, sir.
That's good advice. I'm just going to mention, because Rob always asks, I don't know if he's asked today, but about the house we kept talking, you know, we talked about this overpricing thing. We have sort of our poster child for overpricing. It's a house that's been overpriced by $500,000. It's been on the market now 115 days, so that's what, 4 months ish. They lowered the price. It was 1.3 million. It's worth 800,000, by the way. 1.3 million. They dropped it to 1,250,000. Now they just dropped it to 1,234,000. They dropped it just a little bit. They're trying to like tickle the system so it like triggers people's property searches, but it's not going to work.
Yeah.
We just wanted to update you on that. And I wanted to share about the Hawksmoor 7, that I check that every day because like we had 2 listings in Hawksmoor. They sold in 1 day and 5 days. They went into contract. And so all these other ones now, they have signs out in that neighborhood. And so it looks like, hey, they got a lot of listings here. Well, yeah, because ours sell, because we do it the right way. So I just wanted to toot your horn a little bit right there to say it's sort of a disadvantage because it looks like, oh, these other realtors have a lot of listings. Yeah, because they're not selling, because they're not, Amy's are gone because they sell like that. Not always.
And I was going to say, disclaimer, in most cases they do. But anyway, so there's that. So let's go. When we were doing the market report, I want to put this here because I think this is important. We're going to work very hard on this, theheartandhomeorlando.com/market. If you are actively interested in this area, this is a great thing. This is every week you can just download this, take a look at the different villages and what those numbers are looking like. And again, it changes all the time. It changes all the time. So it's important to kind of look at that and follow that and to see what's kind of.
And that video right there is from a month ago, so it's worth saying. Like, the numbers we just gave you are the up-to-date numbers. The video we made just to promote the thing.
Yep. By the way, I have to say, I don't know, Sandy, I don't know if you're watching, but last night I got a text message from Sandy, who is a very, 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 very dear family friend from back in Virginia. Have not talked to Sandy in forever. Sometimes when you just move out and you move away, and sometimes you just kind of lose contact, and then you're like, well, I don't know if they're even still at this address to like mail the Christmas card, and so things just happen. So somehow she says she stumbled across one of these coffee times, and so we reconnected last night, and I think that's amazing. So
hi, Tutu.
Hi, Tutu. I told my kids, everybody's very excited to hear from you, so we're going to catch up and chat later. But so, by the way, Rob says you should get a alligator. Did you name your alligator Elvis? So what is the show? Because it's driving me nuts. So there was the series, and oh my gosh, it was like small town, very southern.
BJ and the Bear.
No, okay. God, come on. The mayor, I think, had a pet alligator named Elvis. I don't know why you said that. Maybe you watched the same show, because I don't know.
I bet anyway, he'll let us know.
He'll let us know, or maybe it was just coincidence. But I did watch a show that way. Speaking of shows, let's go to this. Let's go to what I'm watching. All right, I watched this. This is what I watched yesterday, guys, when I was being very lazy and letting my body just kind of relax a little bit and apparently get sore. Is called Dear Child. It was, I don't know, maybe 6-7 episodes-ish, something like that. So if you're in for a cozy day sometime, this was actually pretty good. You have to, excuse me, you have to have the subtitles on, but I'm okay with that if you're okay with that. Took me a while to get used to that. Like my daughter, both my daughters, we watched a Spanish series called The Grand Hotel like years ago. And I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do this. Like they're speaking Spanish and I can't understand, so I just had to read the subtitles. And now you can have the English, the dubbing over. So
when I was looking for to make this graphic, when I was looking for the poster, the first one I found said Liebekind.
Yeah.
What? So it must be German.
Yeah.
And by the way, Elvis, that's from Miami Vice. Rob thinks that I look like Sonny from Miami Vice.
Oh, I was watching. I was thinking it was the cute.
No. And also, I may shave my beard live on the live stream next week. I'm promoting.
I'm promoting. Gross. Don't do that.
You are.
Okay. All right. Anyway, yeah. Speaking of next week, should we tell them that? And then I still have other stuff I talk about.
I kind of told them, but I guess my mic wasn't on when I told them.
Yeah, you didn't tell them. So. Okay. So next week, is it the next two?
Yeah.
It's the next two. So the next two coffee times, it's going to be Eric here solo, guys. I may come in and do a little.
Yeah, I think you'll be here, and you'll be on the chat, certainly.
Yeah. I'll be on the chat and everything, but I'm going to be in Virginia. I'm going to be heading out on Sunday. My mother's birthday is coming up, so I'm going to fly in, go see my mom for a couple days, stop off at a friend's house, and then head over to my son's house and dog sit for a while he goes out of town for a wedding. And but by the way, I'm still working. So for all of you that are like, oh, she's going away for a week. Okay, first of all, Eric is here. Secondly, I'm still working. I'm still literally the only time I'm not accessible is when I'm in the plane or on the plane, on the plane. But I am still working, so there's, the only thing I can't manage is if there's something that needs me to physically be there, in which case we have Eric. So on that note, with the next two coffee times, Eric will be here behind the camera, which is good, or in front of the camera, I guess. He'll be both in front and behind the camera.
That's not good.
What?
That's not really great, but it's fine.
It's fine. Anyway, okay, so that's just a reminder for next week. So definitely, here, do me a favor. Make sure that you tune in. You're probably going to have like 50 billion more people watch you than me. But anyway, all right, so let's move on. I'm going
to be shirtless. I'm definitely not.
Here we go. What's the word?
Oh, now come on, Amy, tell me what's the word.
Okay, so the word today is assessment. So there is a difference between an assessed value and an appraised value. The assessed value is going to be done by, basically it's going to find out what the taxable rate is going to be, or the taxable amount is going to be for your home. That is going to change, guys, from county to county, from area to area, city to city. And that's one of the first questions that people ask here. They don't ask what's the assessed value because they may not know that that's how the taxes are determined. But that's how your property taxes are determined. So if you are, if you are living in New York, you're loving our property taxes here. If you come from somewhere else, you might go, oh my gosh, it's so high in Florida. I mean, we can't make everybody happy. We just are what we are here. So the assessed value, again, is going to be determined by the government assessor. That's going to be relative to your area, to your lot, your home specifications, and the taxes are going to be based on that amount. Now, your appraised value is basically the fair market value for your home if you were to sell it. So an appraised value is going to be much, much, much higher than the assessed value. So just make sure that you're aware of that. Assessment and appraisals, two totally different things. The appraisal is what is going to be done by the lender when you purchase a home, whether new construction or resale. The appraisal is going to be done by the lender to determine whether or not the fair market value for that property that you are purchasing is fair, right? If the appraised value is where it should be, because if you buy a home for $500,000, but it's only worth $400,000, and the lender does the appraisal, we're going to have an appraisal issue. They're going to go, hey, that home that you're buying that we told you could buy for $500 is not worth $500. It's only worth $400. So we have to go back and retalk numbers, or we're not going to be able to give you this loan. So that's why the appraised value matters a lot. But the word for today is assessment, because that is the one that directly relates to your property taxes. And that, again, is going to change from county to county, or city to city, or state to state, area to area, and it's going to be what it's going to be. That's not something that we get to change, unfortunately. It's another reason why I reiterate this a lot, and I think I probably said it on the past 3 coffee times, that is exactly why if you purchase new construction, your home's taxes for the first year are not going to be the full amount of your taxes once that home is completed, because the first part of the year, the assessment is done on the vacant land. The vacant land is not the same taxable aspect as it will be once it's improved. Once that home is built, now the assessment changes and the taxes go up. So for that first year, you're going to have a little bit of both land, home, right? The next year you pay your taxes, it's going to be all home, and it's going to be higher because, hello, Maggie, it's going to be a higher amount. So keep that in mind. Assessment relates to your taxes. That is going to be lower than your appraisal. Appraisal means the fair market value for your home, and that's going to really affect the financing, and the lender is the one that orders the appraisal. But the assessment is done by the government's surveyor or assessor. That's how you say it. Anyway, all right. So did I get everything in today, dear? I think I did. I'm looking.
You didn't do Zillow, but
Zillow.
You can do it if you want.
Let's do Zillow real fast, and then because this one's in Florida, so stay tuned for this one. So this one is our Zillow home of the day. Okay, first of all, do any of you do the little bump bump at the end of that little ditty for that? Because every time we're doing the Zillow little theme song, so to speak, we do a little bump bump at the end. Anyway, okay, so this home is in Longwood, Florida, everybody. 5,500,000, 9 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms, 17,273 square feet. Beautiful property. There's really nothing that I'm going to say that's weird about this one. And that's a lot. How many acres would you say the land was? 11 acres. Good gracious. So beautiful home, beautiful land, the land alone, my goodness. So this is in Longwood, Florida. So if you have any interest in, now that's a little much, that's not my style for that bedroom there, but that's okay. Those things can be changed. A little bit of a modern feel in there for some of these things. God, those are indoor like jet spas. I don't know. There's a pool, but look at the land. I mean, come on.
That seems like a guest house there too, by the way.
Yeah. So if you have, $5 million laying around, give me a call and we'll help you purchase this home as your own little your own little getaway. But really it's quite beautiful. So and that's out in Longwood, Florida. Eric, you want to tell us where Longwood is?
It's right here.
It's right here.
It's right around us. Right here.
It's right here.
It's right here.
Us. Okay, you're so goofy. All right, guys. So let me see one more thing. I got a note of a question, so let me look. Oh wait. Can you help me find this one, Jay? They said Jay asked a question, so I want to get Jay. Oh, here we are. Okay. Jay, are the model homes open for tours at West Haven at Ovation yet? Yes, they are. They are open now, and yes, we have not done those videos yet. We will get there. We always ask for permission, so we set that up in advance to let them know when we're coming so that we don't just stop in and wander in. But yes, they are actually finally open, so that's good to know. Excellent. All right.
Jay Scoops. I like that.
Yeah.
Rob asked if I should get a plush alligator and name it Elvis. So Rob, there you go.
Pull the thingy off his head. Like, don't pull it off. Don't pull it off. No, don't pull. I just said don't pull it off.
I've done it. What, are you gonna hang it up somewhere?
No, but those are the ones that we give to our clients.
Well, we'll give them another one. Hello.
Anyway.
How you doing?
So yes, we have these little plush gators.
It's Elvis. I'm going away now. Today has been an unmitigated disaster for me. I'm contemplating all of it. I don't know.
All right.
I'll see you next week if I'm
able.
seeable.
Okay. So we are. We have a whole thing of the little plush alligators that we stick in our little what do you call it? Closing gifts. There we go. What am I saying? Closing gifts. So on that note, we haven't done wishes. That's one thing I have to do. Okay. Okay, so here we go. So we just want to say big congratulations. I figured out who we left off. That's why we were. Yeah. Bart and Jean. Okay, we did their new homeowner orientation today. Have a beautiful home with Dream Finders. It is gorgeous. Beautiful. Love that floor plan. Beautiful home. It was in great shape. Typical stuff at their new homeowner orientation. Nothing too overwhelming or concerning. Typical paint and drywall touch-ups, which is totally what you expect. So they are closing this week. Yoo-hoo! Dawson. Congratulations to Dawson, who got an A on his first college exam. Yes? Yes, so we're excited about that. And then Devlin and Kim, and I heard that because I'm family, I can call him Craig, but I'll still say here, Devlin and Kim. So sweet, came in town. We spent, I think it was Thursday together, and it was one of those things, the conversations that we have prior to meeting in person, trying to narrow things down, getting a really good feel for what they're looking for, what the price point is, what they kind of need, where they want to be. And guys, we hit a home run right out of the park. So they have a beautiful new home that's going to be ready probably around December-ish. And then they're going to be moving here, making their dreams come true. And I love it because they've been out enjoying Disney and for them. And this is a very, very, very good point. And then, I just think it's important for people to know. So we talk about situations where when you have a budget, whether the budget is flexible or not is going to be up to you or the bank. But the other thing is where you want to be. So some people are like, I would rather push my budget to be in the location that I want to be, if the home is worth it. But if the location is definitely worth it, they'll consider it. or scooching out a little bit further and finding something that you want in a home, but maybe the location now is not quite as ideal. So in this case with Devlin and Kim, they chose to stay in the location that they wanted to be, push that budget a little bit. But now they are going to be just a hop, skip, and a jump from Disney and be able to go there. And the quality of life is going to be spectacular. So we could not be happier for them. So super, super happy. On another note, we forgot to add them, but Travis and Gabrielle got their offer accepted on some vacant land where they are going to build their dream home. So that's exciting too. So following along the journey with them. All right, guys. So as we finish things up for today, I got to find my thing. I don't know where it is. I just want to remind everybody how much we appreciate you hanging with us. I know we are not the flashy, all put it together, studio area. We are at home, like literally at home. Heart and Home Orlando. You are here. You are welcome into our home. I don't see that. There it is. Thank you. So thank you for joining in, for spending some coffee time with us, as well as some late morning. Okay, now I'm under the cold caffeine time. We appreciate you guys.
It certainly wasn't quality time.
It wasn't quality time today. Okay, well, it was time. We spent time together. But remember, I'm going to miss you these next couple of weeks. So you're not going to see me.
You're going to be here, yeah. No,
well, I'm going to be here.
We're going to try to hook you in.
We are. I'm just saying I don't know how that's going to work. But I'll still be here. I'll still be chatting in. But I get to be in the chat next time. So I'm gonna chat that way with everybody. But please join in and tune in for Eric, and and then don't kick me out. Like, don't fire me. Like, once you have him for a week or two, like don't
worry.
Don't let
Don't
go.
worry. It's going to be
all right, guys. Well, as always, just want to remind you that we really do appreciate you. We really, truly, truly do from the bottom of our hearts. Please stay safe, stay well. Remember, we love you. We will see you next Monday. Eric will see you on Monday. I'll see you somehow on Monday. Have a great time, guys. Happy house hunting.